Good evening, my IED scholars. Mr. Suffren here. I want to take this time to demonstrate how to create several different shapes on Autodesk Fusion 360. This is relative to activity 1.2.2, solid model. Let's get to it. In our assignment, we were to create in Fusion 360 shape A, B, C, and D. We were also to create several other shapes. We were to create the rectangle and as well as the right triangle and the base. But to access the dimensions of those shapes, you would need to go to activity 1.2.1 isometric sketching. So let me demonstrate the first shape, and that is shape A, our horseshoe. So when I take it to Fusion, your screen will look like this. The first thing you want to do is set your units to inches. And if your units reflects millimeters, you would just click on this page right here, change active units, click on that, and you'll see a dialog box on the right-hand side of your screen. To change your units, you just click on this drop-down box, click on inch. Make sure you set the default, click on this checkbox and select the unit type as inch. That will default your screen as units when you start a new design, okay? So for our horseshoe, the first thing I wanna do is determine our units. So let's go back to the activity. So I want to determine, how large this shape is going to be. So what I typically do is look at each portion of the horseshoe as a 1 inch by 1 inch block. So if it's 1 inch by 1 inch, then theoretically the width would be 3 inches, and the length would be 2 inches long. So let's take it back to Fusion. And let's start creating our two-dimensional sketch. So the first thing we're going to do is create the sketch. So click on this icon, create sketch. And here it's going to ask you which plane do you want to start designing your two-dimensional rectangle. So I am going to select this plane right here. All right, from there, I am going to click on the two-point rectangle. When I click on that, I am simply going to hover my mouse over the origin, click on my mouse and drag towards right. I'm going to let go because I like to manually select my dimensions. So I'm going to go give it a width of 3 inches, and I'm going to tab over to the next dimension, and I'm going to select 2 inches and hit enter. All right, so now you have created a two-dimensional design of your rectangle. So I'm going to finish out the sketch by clicking on the green icon on your toolbar. And I'm going to click on my home view. So now you see my two-dimensional sketch. So to make this 3 dimensions, I am simply going to click on the extrude tool. All right, when I click on extrude, it's going to allow me to click, hold, and drag this shape upward. And again, I'm going to let go of my mouse and set my dimension for 1 inch for the height. And I'm going to hit enter. Okay, so now I have a 3-dimensional rectangle, look like so. All right, so now what I want to do is subtract or cut into this shape. So I'm going to cut in the center a 1 inch by 1 inch cube. So I'm going to click on create sketch, select the plane I want to draw on, and I want to draw on the front plane like this. Okay, so I'm going to blow this up a little bit. And from here, I am going to select the 2-point square. Now, I always start at the origin. So as I scroll along, hover my mouse along the x-axis, the program will lock at a 1/2 inch as well as 1 inch. So this is where I'm going to start my drawing. So I'm going to click, hold, and drag, and I'm going to let go of my mouse, and I am going to manually type in my dimensions of 1 inch, tab, 1 inch, and I'm going to hit enter. And now I have a 1 inch square in the center of my rectangle. All right, so the last step, I'm going to simply just extrude this shape. So I'm going to hit the extrude icon, select the shape I want to cut into, and I am going to extrude back -1 inch. Okay, and I'm going to hit enter. And as you see, I have my 3-dimensional horseshoe. Okay, so you will apply that additive and subtractive method to each shape. Okay, I hope this helps, and happy designing. Take care. Peace.